Hi everyone, happy Webtoon Wednesday. Today I'm going to be talking about I Will Fall with the Emperor. This is a drama, fantasy, romance. There are suggestive sexual scenes in here. At least I've come across one so far, and I'm on chapter 23, but you don't actually see anything. There is also rape and mutilation in this webtoon as well, and you don't see anything. It just leads you to that conclusion. This is one of the webtoons where our main female character dies in the beginning, and then she's given the opportunity to go back 10 years and do life over again. Our main female character, her name is Larcy. She is the firstborn princess of a country called Barry, and she is the black sheep of the family. Now, her mom is actually her biological mom, but her dad is not her biological dad. It's actually her uncle. So apparently her mom was dating the king's brother, which is Larcy's actual dad, but the king fell in love with Larcy's mom, so he kind of like took her away and ended up killing his brother to keep Larcy's mom. And she was already pregnant with Larcy at the time, so she gave birth to Larcy, but they never told her the truth about who her actual dad was. And she finds out like much later in life, like her late 20s, I believe, when she finds out the truth. Now, Larcy has an incredible amount of power. Apparently, her biological dad had a lot of power. Her mom has power, but not a whole lot. In this world, people who have like a really light blonde colored hair or golden hair and people who have silver hair, that's like an indicator that they have royal blood and that they could possibly possess a lot of magic. Now, in Larcy's original first life, she is actually severely betrayed by her family. They plan this huge scheme to get Larcy to kind of take the blame for starting a war and betraying the country and just a whole bunch of other crap that Larcy didn't actually do. It's really crappy, and Larcy doesn't know all of this because she's been captured by the enemy, and the enemy emperor, because he has seen how strong she was during times of war and battle and how strong she is when she's being kept a prisoner, he actually offers to marry her. But because of all of her pride, she says no. And basically he's just like, well, you'll regret this and you're not going to believe me until you see it with your own eyes. So he sends her back to her country, and when she's there, her family immediately imprisons her. People are blaming her for the war and for like financial issues that happened in the kingdom. So she actually gets executed. And during her execution, she like makes a plea or, prays, whatever, that she's going to go back in time and start over again to get her life back. And she does. And when she comes back, she is not the nice, innocent girl she was in her first life. She is definitely taking the reins and being the villainess of this story. So even though Larcy does have a kind heart, she's walled off a lot of her heart, a lot of her feelings and emotions. So she's definitely going to be playing the field to the best of her advantage because she wants to live a long, healthy, and, a good life for the most part. So immediately when she goes back in time, she finds one of the servants that was not necessarily nice to her, but also not cruel to her. And that person's name is Sang, and he ends up becoming her servant. She picks him to follow her to the kingdom, which he gets engaged. So the day she goes back in time, they have a letter from a foreign country that, they need to send the youngest princess to go get married, or they need to send a princess to go get married to that emperor to create strong bonds of friendship. So originally in the first life, Larcy's little sister goes. So Larcy is like, no, I'm going to go. How could you send my darling little sister there, you know, with all the concubines and possibly being poisoned and this and that? So Larcy goes, and she's gonna be a bad bitch. Let me just tell you right now. She already knows all the stuff that's going to happen to her. So like the concubines are going to do some really terrible things to her. Like really catty stuff, like putting paint on her, pouring wine on her, you know, not letting the maids tend to her, stuff like that. So originally, when her little sister went over there, her little sister would write letters home like almost every day, complaining about all the stuff that the concubines were doing to her or what the concubines were having the maids do to her. So immediately when she gets there, she is the empress, mind you. She's not a concubine because she is the princess of that country. She marries the emperor of the foreign country. So she is now the empress over there. So she has a lot of power walking into that place. So when maids are really crappy to her, she is really crappy right back to them, and because she has the right to be. So it's really nice having like a really strong female character who's not letting anybody push her around, and she has enough foresight to deal with the situations that are coming ahead. And even when, you know, people are trying to poison her, they sending her dead cats, you know, that like ruining her clothes. There's a lots of stuff that happens to her, but she takes it all in stride, and she prevails, and she does it with a lot of elegance and grace, and she ends up winning people's hearts because originally a lot of people don't like her, and a lot of servants are really scared of her because they know her as like the princess of the bats, because her family has been, even before she was sent over there, her family has, under her nose, been giving her a bad reputation to kind of like build up that image that she's a terrible person. So people are already thinking of her as a terrible person. So she plays the villainess when she needs to, but she's also not technically a bad person, and she does do nice things along the way. So I think there's like a healthy, good balance in there as well. I really like the artwork. I really like the storyline. It's kind of nice reading about a female lead who's really strong. So she like uses her magical powers when she needs to and not an excessive amount. And she's very smart and very intelligent. She's not like a ditzy blonde, and she's not tripping over herself to make the emperor love her. She just wants him to know that she's of value for more than just being a woman or to bear him a child. She has more value than just that. So I really like this story. There's less than 30 chapters right now, so I'm interested in seeing where it goes. I'm sure it's going to go somewhere fabulous. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.